Boom. All right, so we're back. I think it's day 9, isn't it? Day 10. Fucking hell, I was going quick. And all this moving about, running about, dealing with trolls, dealing with people on the platform. All right, so obviously I'm going to go straight into, I'm not promoting violence, I'm not promoting, I'm not promoting bullying, yeah, I'm not promoting bullying, because I see something the other day, not yesterday, yeah, yesterday, that someone put up about me bullying. One thing they've got to appreciate more than anything, I only watched 3 seconds of it, right, is that it might seem like I'm bullying to you and the people that you're trying to portray that message to, but what you've got to understand is I invested £100,000 cash into a property, right, and then I went back unexpectedly and there was empty in it, so there's no bullying going on there. I just weren't letting him empty the building, so I was left with nothing. Straight on to where we're going now. So we don't promote violence, we don't promote crime, we don't promote, condone, or even acknowledge criminal activities as a way of life or a strategy to get out of trouble, right? Because it don't get out of trouble. It's just trauma creating more trauma. And through the journey of the Marvin Herberts Journey to the big 5-0, yeah, I'm demonstrating all the traumatic things that you go through, even though I smile, right? So I'm not smiling because I enjoyed it and I'm proud of going through it. I'm smiling a lot of the time, yeah, because of like the madness of belief, right? So I'll say it like I say it and I say it and I say it, yeah? I risk my liberty every single day of my life for a price I couldn't put my finger on. I was prepared to stab, shoot and kill. I was prepared to go to prison any day of the week for life without saying a fucking word and classing myself as sensible. For what? Yeah. So with that mindset, sometimes when I go back and I'm thinking and talking about things, I think, fucking hell, I must have been insane. Like, I can believe I've done it to get out of the situations I was in. And most of the situations I was in, most people don't ever get into. So when I get the trolling and then the people not believing or people saying certain things, I understand that. I get it. It's not an issue, right? So I am not what you say I am. You are what you say I am. And certain things in life do not always turn out how you want them to turn out. And sometimes they don't be what you want them to be. So I am nothing but the truth, right? In the world that I come from. Now, I don't know the world that all my trolls and people that are trying to attack me, trying to put me down are from. I don't know, right? But everybody that knows me know I was a hardened life, real life crook. I was a real life villain. I was a real life naughty member. I've done anything in his power to steal money. And I've done anything to protect my money, and I've done anything to scare anybody away from trying to take my money. That's what I've done, right? And that's all I've done, right? So when you're engaging in these strategies and these plans to be the big guy on the road, just know that you better prepare for someone like me coming to kick your door in, someone like me coming to take your goods, someone like me coming to tell you what to do. Like, because there's worse people than me. I've done it with a good intention, and I was still messed up. I was still fucked. Do you know what I'm saying? I've still done bad things that I'm embarrassed about now. But at the time, I felt it was justified, right? So I can't condone that behaviour, and I talk about it in a way sometimes where it looks like I'm pleasantly enjoying it. But people that know me, yeah, I've been smiling when people have been stabbing me. I've been smiling when people shot me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's nerves. Like now, I'm smiling. Am I happy or am I nervous? Do you know what I mean? Like, and this is nerve-wracking. People don't get it. So don't always think what you see is the reality of people's reality, if that makes sense, right? So moving forward, we're going into the deepest, darkest mindsets of men in the Marbella sunny side of the criminal fraternity, right? So we've gone into a few bits and pieces, and I've got a few messages, and people say, why do you talk about this, or why do you talk about that, why do you say this, and why do you say that? So there's so much stuff that went on here that talking about it makes me, it's mad, but believe me, yeah, Marbella in 2006 to 2000 and, I think 12 or 13, it was toxic out there. Like, there was a shift and there was a lot of badness happening over there, right? So, and it wasn't predominantly English or British people, right? Over in Spain, yeah, it's the other groups, the other countries, like you got the French, the Syrians, the Russians, the Romanians, the Lithuanians, the always forget them ones. They're like Bulgarians, yeah, all them. So everybody's battling over everything. So everyone's stepping on everybody's toes. So it's very toxic out there. So a lot of the stories that I'll tell you about, people know about them, but a lot of them is like foreigners that I had ag with. I never had ag with any English people over there. Do you know what I mean? I had to tell a couple of cut people off over there. So I don't want to tell stories off where I'm telling people off, because it makes it look like I'm trying to mug people off, right? So that ain't going to be the scenario of what we're talking about. We're talking about the build-up of the life, right? The build-up of the life that got me shot, right? The build-up of the life that made someone actually pull the trigger. The build-up of the life that tried to end me. Do you know what I'm saying? And what you got to understand is, it was a plan like everything else in life, right? And people don't understand how these things work, but anybody that knows, boom! And I know you're watching, because I know people are intrigued, right? So anyone that knows, right? That when anything bad's going to happen in the criminal fraternity, people know, right? People know. Now, around the time, well, before I got shot, boom, right? So before I got shot, so think I got shot in 2008. So think about, and this is where you're gonna hear about the agent provocateurs and the no good people, right? Who was prepared to watch me dead, yeah? So I don't know who spoke to who, and I don't know who spoke to what. But what I do know, I was plugged in to the major villains across the planet. So information can come from anywhere. It doesn't matter. It could have come from anywhere. But people would have had to say things that was involved that knew what was going to happen. So before I was shot, whoever told you, whoever you are, because you did get told, I know you got told, because I heard rumours. I heard rumours I was a snitch. I heard rumours, what else did I hear? I heard rumours that I was robbing people. Ooh, so if people was telling you that I was robbing people in Spain and I'm gonna have a problem, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, right? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And that means you're gonna be going soon, right? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, right? Agent provocateurs, remember what I'm telling you, right? So there's certain people that say certain things about me, right? But there's always a reason why, right? And if what they're saying isn't true, you've got to ask yourself, why would they say that? Why would they say that? Now, there's a common verb that says, I am not what you say I am. You are what you say I am. And what that means in psychology is a reflective thing. So people that usually call people names, usually what they are inside. And because it's nothing but the truth, I'm explaining things in a way so people can understand the mindsets that they're around. Because this is all about mindsets. This isn't about individual people. This is about the types of people. And they're everywhere, amongst everyone. Because every family has them, right? Everyone. So this isn't just one person or that person. This is a mindset that I'm trying to change. So this isn't a direction on anyone. This is a direction on mindsets, right? Remember that always. It's the mindsets, because I never felt I was doing anything ever wrong. I abandoned my children in prison and thinking I'm doing myself a favour. Like, these are things that belief systems make you do, right? So when you believe something's correct, and when you believe something's honourable, and when you believe something is going to empower you and lift you and give your family a life that people dream of, yeah, then people like me throw their heart, soul and spirit at it. And sometimes you end up in prison. I'm gutted and regretful of that. So like I've said in all the thing, the one thing I regret is being a criminal. And it wasn't the fact of the prison and the stabbings and the shootings, I didn't want to be a criminal. It's the fact that my kids haven't got the man or the dad that they should have. They only got the man they have to, how can I put it, learn to get to know, right? So when they learn to get to know the man, then we can have a relationship. because they choose not to learn, it's complicated, right? So that is a byproduct of the life and the choices that I made, which I wouldn't wish on anybody, right? So that's the biggest regret. So moving forward, the age of provocateurs that I was going to tell you, and the people that tell you things. So just before I got shot, a year before I got shot, people would have heard rumours. And I'm putting it out there because at the end of the day, it's over, it's done and dusted. I ain't got no malice in my heart for no one, and I don't want to retaliate for anybody. So this isn't a way for me to cause a problem so someone gets hurt. I don't want no one to get hurt. I don't want no one to get hurt. All I'm doing is demonstrating a mindset, because I was lucky enough to survive, right? Now, there's not many people that could sit here and do what I'm doing today, because they'd be dead. So I believe I've got to give you this message and expose the mindset. Now, people that know me can assume which, what, and who. I can't stop that. Which, what, and who. Yeah? I don't know who you think I'm talking about, and I don't know what you think I'm talking about. But if you know something that no one else don't know, then you can have an assumption on something. And a lot of people spoke a lot of shit, and a lot of people spoke a lot of truth. So it's up to people out there to understand it's not my position to make your opinion, okay? It's not my position for you to retaliate for my opinion. Like, your opinions are your opinions. I don't care about the situation, because the situation that has happened has got me to be where I am today. So I'm grateful I was bad enough, strong enough, big enough, and wicked enough, yeah? Wicked enough, yeah? To go through this shit and come out this side smiling, yeah? No matter what, and trust me, not every day is a day of smiling, you know, like you don't know what day I've had today. And that's not even a fucking joke, yeah? But we're here, right? Today's another day we get dealt with, tomorrow's another day we've got coming. So now we're gonna let you know more about the life of the people of Spain, right? So lots of things happen in Spain, right? Lots of coups, lots of problems, lots of ag. But just remember a few things, right? I never robbed a single person in Spain, right? I never took any liberties in Spain. In fact, yeah, I don't think you'd find a bad word to say about me in Spain. And I can, well, Spain, apart from maybe 1% or 0.5% of the people in Spain, will have a good word to say about me. Facts, right? Facts. Now, there's a couple of people, literally a couple of people, handful, that might have something bad to say. But everybody that runs the gaff, moves the gaff, lives the gaff, breathes the gaff, sleeps the gaff, shits the gaff, pisses the gaff, have relationships with me that's insurmountable in ways that people would never expect. Like, anyone that comes from England, goes to Spain and mentions my name. No matter whereabouts in Spain they go to, they'll get looked after. And that's not just me blowing my own trumpet, because I'll just get a phone call, Marv, do you know this person? I say, yeah, of course I do. And I go, all right, sweet, mate. The phone goes down. And that happens daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. And that's not because of anything, but people throw your name up and people want to check. So people check, and I say, yeah, of course, no, he's my pal. And then they get whatever they're looking for in ways of tickets, appearances, shows, whatever. They're my pals, isn't it? So if my pals go places and they bump into people, they get looked after like me. And that's just how we work, because we are a group, a cooperative. That's the new one, Marvin Herberts Cooperative, right? So prior to all that happening, yeah, we mixed with some dark and dingy and wicked people. And I keep drifting off because it's important that you understand the mindset of these people, because I love these people, yeah? And I would have done anything for these people. So I know there's people out there that feel the same about other people around them. So now you've got an opportunity now to actually look closer at the people around you and ask, are you a benefit or are you a tool? Do you know what I mean? Tool, benefit, or brain. One of the three. Do you know what I mean? So someone's using you for something. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. I mean, you just got to make sure we're all using each other for the right reasons, for the right goal, and make sure we all benefit at the same time. That's the key, right? So back to the stories. So let me get into my Spain mode, right? Because there were some exciting times over there. There was some exciting times. And I know a lot of people, I don't know why everyone wants to know about all the ag over there, but when I was over there was plenty of stabbings, plenty of shootings, plenty of beatings. But there was a night I made. Do you know what? I don't know whether or not this sort of cemented my relationship with the Russians, or I don't know. Do you know what it is? I can't answer the question. I don't know why I'm friends with all these top people, right? It's just because I'm Marvin Herbert. So basically, I'm in Taboo one night, and where I'm 10, 15 years older than the chaps, yeah, because I'm like the older lot, right? We're the older lot, and I'm over there, one of the older lot. All the people that are flying are 10, yeah, I think 10 and 15 years younger than me. 8, 10, 12 years younger than me. That kind of age difference between the people hitting it over there and the people that was hitting it, yeah? So they're having it. So I'm in a bar with all the older lots, younger lot, if that makes sense. So I'm in the bar with, I think like, it must have been, I'm out with a couple of people and I bumped into a couple of the younger lots. So they was in their 20s. So they've been between 19 and 26, between 19 and 26, right? So they're like the younger lot, right? So the 19 to 26-year-olds are out giving it the bigger, little firm of them. Anyway, so I'm in a nightclub with a couple of my pals. And then one of the younger lot starts moaning, fucking geezer. I said, what's the matter, kid? He went, you see that Russian man, he's like a bully, you know. I was like, what do you mean? He said, mate, just watch him for a minute, So I said, all right. So then I just watched this geezer now just sort of barging through the crowd, yeah, and just sort of, no, on purpose, you know, one of them guys. And then when people go, hello, and he's turning straight in their face, what do you see? What do you see? Like, and people's like, all right. And he's like, no, right, an horrible, intimidating, like, I just thought, you know what, do that near me, mate. Do that near me, yeah? Obviously, when you wish for something bad enough, you get it. Yeah, so I always speak things into existence. I do it because that's what I do. It's just part of Marvin Herbert, and people that know me know. So I thought, yeah, I'm watching this kid. I thought, come over here, please, come over here. Lo and behold, yeah, one of the youngsters that works for one of my pals is standing in front of me. Sort of not blocking the walkway to the toilet, but chatting with his back to me, yeah, to somebody else. But he's got his back to me, so he's standing on the walkway. And then the Russians come walking up and try to barge through the middle of them. Yeah, so I went, well, hold on. And then he's stuck it on the youngster, right? So as he stuck it on the youngster, I've sort of put my hand on his chin like that. I said, whoa. Why don't you fucking pick on your own size, mate? And he's like switching me, you want problem? I said, yeah, I'll have a fucking problem, what? And he went, come outside. So I said, all right, sweet, come on then. So we've gone outside. We're like, obviously, it's a little bit more animated than that, yeah? But I wasn't animated like that. He was animated. Yeah. I was like, all right, sweet, come outside then, mate. What? And then he's walked outside. A couple of his people have walked outside of him. The badger's come up to me and said, are you going to go outside? I said, yeah, come on, man. What's the matter with you? Of course we're going outside, man. So I've gone outside. The geezer's there, taking off his jacket, giving it all the, I'm going to kill you. Nobody break this fight. Nobody stop this fight. I said, no one stop it. I said, all right, sweet, come on. Anyway, he's coming. I'm talking because it's facts, yeah? It's facts. So I don't care what you say. These are the facts. This is what happened, yeah? Everybody that was there, all the witnesses, all the bouncers, even the guy's dad rang me up the next day and said there's not going to be no issues. Do you know what I'm saying? That was the fairest fight and he lost, and do you know what? You taught him a lesson. Kind of back to the story now. So I've gone outside. He's there, come on, boom, put the glove, not the gloves on, so boom, crash there, standing. He's sizing himself up. So I said, all right, what, mate? What? Right, because I'll let you into a little secret. I always like to get it first because that's when people make mistakes. Do you understand? So I'll just talk to people so they have to hit me. And as they hit me, that's when they realise they wish they never, right? So he's shouting. So I've gone up in his face. I've gone, what? And with that, he's gone try to hit me. I've just bob weaved, stepped, punched him about 4 times, yeah? He's tried to punch me again. I've stepped inside, given him a body shot, head shot, grabbed him by, and just fucking headbutted him, punch him again, and then as I've just gone to uppercut him, he's come forward, I've uppercutted him, and the fucking tooth just went into me, me knuckles here, right? So I fucking pulled me, crashed him in his nose, and I never kneed him, but I'll just kneed him up the side, and then just elbowed him, and then he was like, okay. Right, I said, what? What do you mean? I thought you weren't stopping this fight. I want to know, what do you mean? We're not supposed to fucking stop. What? Okay, I've had enough. I said, what, we're stopping, yeah? We're stopping, yeah? He's like, I've had enough. I said, all right, cool. I said, well, my hand was bleeding, so I had to go and get some things on it. Do you know what I mean? And there was a little bit of a buzz around the port that weekend, do you know what I mean? Because he was a horrible little bully cunt, and he got what was coming to him, you know what I mean? And there was a couple of situations over there that happened, and it weren't me giving it the bigger, and it's just, do you know what, you just think, you horrible cunt, do you know what I mean? Like, and I can have a row, so I don't mind having a row. And if you're taking a piss in front of me, I'd think, wow, do you know what I mean? I'd rather have a row than you take the piss, mate. Like, they're the youngsters. That's the kind of mindset I've had. So I'm not a horrible villain, although I've spoke about doing other things. I'm not justifying what I've done, but there's always a reason. And I think my empathetic soul, yeah, that's been abandoned and neglected and sort of hurt so many times, just don't like that happening to no one. So when I think I can stop it or save someone or help someone deal with that, I'll do everything I can, because I know deep down how it feels. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of mad. Because sometimes I think, why did I do that? I don't even fucking like that cunt. Do you know what I mean? But it's just, sometimes I just can't see weak people being beaten and bullied. It's just one of them things inside me. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. I think that's what, thinking about it, yeah. See, doing these lives is like therapeutic as well, because thinking about it, I think, do you know what? Maybe that's why I made the name I made over there. Do you know what I mean? Because I jumped into everybody's shit when they was having problems. Every time everyone was having a problem, I was like, I'll sort it out for you. Bam. And then getting it sorted. So, yeah, fuck. See, again, yeah, replacing trauma with trauma. Because my life is so traumatic, yeah, I have to be involved in trauma to get through things like that. Like even in prison, when I'm in prison, right, I have to go, I can't just do my bit of bird, bang up, get up, go work. I can't do that. I just can't, I just, sometimes I think, do you know what, Gov? Fuck off, I'm in prison. Do you know what I mean? And then go down the block and then think, do you know what? Wow. But do you know what? Fuck it, I'm in prison, innit? Like, so now I know why I used to do that. But when I used to do it, I didn't know why. And it was because of the limbic system, right? Which I'm bringing to everybody's attention through the chimp paradox. So I know I go off the story every now and then, but it's just the way I have to explain things because of the way my brain works. Because I believe I have to let you know in a way so you can understand the insanity. Do you understand? Because I'm not trying to condone it. I'm not glamorizing it. I just want you to understand it. Do you know what I mean? So everyone has a coping mechanism. And my coping mechanism is ag. It's mad, isn't it? So if I have to get through something, I have something to go bad. So I have to overcome something to achieve something to feel better about myself. If that makes sense, it's kind of crazy. So Spain was a place where there was a lot of vulnerable people. So what I wanted to go into tonight about Spain before I got shot, right, was that everybody was whispering, everybody was talking, everybody was plotting, right? We know that now, right? So why? Why? Because sometimes in life, like I've seen it in other criminal organisations, right? They actually kill their pals. They've killed their uncle. I know people who've killed their pals. Well, I don't know them personally, right? But I know someone personally that knows these people, that have done business with these people, that can't believe what these people have done, right? Now, these people are so close with these people, I know it's happened, right? So someone's got a bit of graft in another country and they've got someone in the middle, right? Now, for them to take control, all they got to do is iron that person out. And they do it. 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 Some of your cousins who you don't really like, some might be your uncle that don't like, but they fucking do it. And I've seen family members do it. I've seen family members plot on family members, right? I've seen it. I've fucking seen it. So I'm not joking. I've seen it, yeah? I'm not pointing fingers who, but I'm telling you, I've seen it, right? And it happens. It happens monthly, yeah? Monthly. Because families are big and they're all divided and they all make out shit to the public. But inside, some of them are evil little cunts that are causing problems like worldwide, mate. Trust me, it's a fucking liberty. And what it is, it's like Spain, right? My assumption of Spain, right? Spain was built up on the fucking meanest, the hardest, the roughest villains that Europe had to offer, right? And they was over there, they went over there, they fought ideas back in the 60s and the 70s, and they went and cemented the ground for us, right? That's what was the mindset, that's what you got to think about, right? And then these men, right? Now, I'm not comparing myself financially or physically or anything to do with them. I'm saying mentally and the person, physically, spiritually that I am, yeah, I know if you'd have put me about in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s or 70s, yeah, any of that era, fuck. That's all I'm telling you, yeah, like, fuck. Like, I know by who made it, right? By who made it in the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s, yeah? By who made it, I know where the fuck I would have been. And I'm telling you that now. Yeah, I know where the fuck I would have been. And it wouldn't have been dead, mate. I'm telling you. Facts, yeah? Facts. So I was born at a time that was right for now. If I was born back in them times, I would have been gone. And I wouldn't have been here to give you this journey of sort of education so people can understand it ain't fucking worth it. It's just not worth it, right? It's not worth it. So Spain, what you got is all the ex-villains that have just made it over there, 50, 60, 70, right? Doing everything. Doing all the puff, doing all the graft, doing all the sniff, setting it all up, having it set up proper. And they did back in the day, it was set up proper. The whole industry was set up proper. It had its stages. And then it got flooded because what happened was all these sensible geezers, yeah, all these sensible geezers, so-called sensible geezers that thought outside the box, right, actually created something in another country to escape all the bollocks here. To escape all, like, even when you watch all the movies, when people go to Spain, like The Business, they go to Spain to have it with someone and fuck shit up, yeah? Because they go over there and fuck it up, because they go over there with a stupid mindset. And what happens is all these sensible people that go over there and set this shit up, yeah, that are hardcore, that have never gone without fuck all, yeah? I mean, they've always gone without everything, yeah? They've always gone without everything. They've grown up suffering, starving, struggling, and they've fought hard to make it to Spain, yeah? And they've built something to pass on to their kids, yeah? Yeah? That's what they've done. And they pass it on to their kids in the 80s and the 90s, mate, yeah? And look what they've done with it. Look what they've done. Sorry about that, people. Bit of mic issue there. So we've got to rewind that then, isn't it? Oh. What was I actually talking about?
Talking about Spain.
What?
In the last 5 minutes, though, we were talking more about.
Right, sorry about that, people. We had a bit of mic difficulty there. And I've lost track of where we were.
Why are you listening to from where it was? Is this live?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's okay, honey.
You not ask them.
Yeah.
Shall I chat?
See, my brain, my chain of thought's gone now. Shit. So we was in Spain, talking about Big 5.
10 days from 5th. The 10 days from.
I was 10 days in on the journey to the Big 5. So it's got to be like, because a lot happened. No, but I was saying a lot happened after the shooting. So this is just, this is the build up to the shooting. Yeah.
The guy then turned around and said that he was going to rob you when you helped him out. That was the last thing you said about Spain. Then you went on a tangent talking about us kids. That's why you got out of the game. But before that, you were
Right. So yeah, I was talking about getting out of the game. So that's what made me get out of the game, right? Actually knowing that I was going to do one of the youngsters that would have rippled into my life. And they say that you don't really realise the reality until it smacks you in the face, right? Now, there's a few things that smack me in the face with the criminal fraternity, right? And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing now, and I think this is why I'm alive to do what I'm doing now, because I do believe, yeah, like, prison system is a spurs on the government, on everything. The fact that people in prison that can't be educated is a fucking embarrassment. So I do believe everybody in prison has a skill, because there's some amazing talent in prison. And some of the greatest ideas on this fucking planet are orchestrated from in prison. Like, some of the coups and some of the, like, every breach of national security in it, computers, banks, anything has been done by someone in prison. Do you know what I mean? So they're fucking smart. I was smart, but not intelligent, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So I was street smart, but I wasn't corporate smart, business-wise. Do you know what I'm saying? So I made a lot of mistakes. I weren't whole. Do you know what I mean? So I think if we can get our kids whole, educational-wise, then as a life moving forward, next level. So I'm targeting most of the youngsters around this country that are the hardest to reach and hardest to work with, because I do believe I can work with all of them, because I don't believe much of them, many of them will be able to punch my head in, and if they put the gloves on, they put the gloves on. If they don't, then there'll always be a gassing member. But I'll tell you something for free, yeah? I believe, yeah, I may have found a future world champion, right? Because everybody knows me, yeah, getting punched, yeah? Everybody knows me getting punched in my stomach and all that, yeah? Now, I'm telling you, I'm shitting you not, a young kid today, 60 kilos, hit me, boom. And I couldn't talk. Couldn't talk for about 2-3 seconds, yeah? And I'm telling you, now people that know me, people who've seen it, people will tell you, yeah? That ain't ever happened, ever. Have I ever been hit and breathless like that? Ever. And I've been hit, and people have run up and kicked me. Now, people are going to tell you this, and you're going to come in my comments now, I'm telling you. People have run up and kicked me as hard as they could, yeah? And I got a punch off a 60-kilo member yesterday, and he fucking hurt. Like, oh, I'm telling you. And if this kid focuses, and I met him through social media, like, he was a bit of a naughty kid, he's related, and I've got to help him. So now, someone has just come out of the dark and the shadows, and hopefully, yeah, Southpaw. Remember I told you, yeah? 60 kilos at the minute. But yeah, that's just coming. I like to tell you that because I thought it was important, because it's coming. But back to the 50-year-old journey. Yeah, everybody in that world that you come across will have an agenda. Some good, most of them bad. Most of them you'll fall victim. Now, I'm not talking out of school. It's just a statistical fact. Do you know what I mean? And it's not nice knowing that you're being used. It's not nice being forced to be used. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just not nice being governed for the wrong reasons. And there's a lot of things that's happened in my life. Right, so I'll tell you, I met a young kid once. Yeah, so I can tell you these sort of stories. So I used to go to a young kid's house and buy a bit of puff. Young, solid little kid. At the time I thought solid little kid, proper solid little kid, right? Solid little kid. About 20 odd years of age. He had a missus and a couple of kids. His dad was a bit of a face. So they're doing their bits and pieces. So he had a couple of kids doing a few bits for him around the pool, doing a bit of puff and a bit of sniff. So I'll turn up. Kind of very long story short, I took to this kid. I really liked him. I thought he was sensible. Didn't know much of his dad. I know people that work with his dad, but you know what? No one's like Marvin Herberts. So people know what I'm like. Unless you can have a row, I didn't rate you. So people that are not fighting men, I never really paid attention to. So this guy's living his life, and I used to buy a bit of puff of him. So he was, had a kid, so I had 2 young kids. He had 2 young kids. So we used to go out and do sociable things. And then one day he said he's got a bit of puff. Oh, do you know people puff? Yeah. Oh, that's a good bit of puff. Oh, I'll grow a bit. So he's found out he's doing a bit of puff, growing a bit of puff. Oh, that's nice. Nice quality, nice taste. Friend of the family's. Boom, we're getting a puff. So anytime I need a puff, I'll pop round the fella's house, right? So one day I'm around a bit of puff, and one of his young fellas working for him turns up. And the first time he turned up, there was an issue, right? And no, he turned up. No, first time he turned up and he was saying something, and then that was it. I can't remember exactly what happened, but the first time the kid come and I was there, yeah, he said something, and I said to the fella, I said, I ain't being funny. I said, ain't you gonna do nothing about that? He went, why? I said, well, he works for you, doesn't he? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, why don't you do X, Y, Z? And then his reply was that, nah, you don't know about this little cunt, Marv. Yeah, all he does, he goes out, sniffs, drinks, does all his money, and he's always behind. He's an absolute cunt. So I thought, obviously, you go back in your brain, you think, oh, we know people like that. So this kid's a bit of a party animal, always does his bollocks, and he's always behind. So obviously, he's a hobbit. He gets thrown in the band, right? So he gets to do all the odd jobs. So I'll just see him as an odd job piece, right? His odd job does this, does that, da, da, da. Now, if someone works for you, you've got a responsibility to look after and protect and make sure no one takes liberties with them, right? So then the following time I'm sitting there, he's turned up, this fella, and he's got a big gash on his head. And I was like, what the fuck happened to you? And he went, oh, one of the bouncers fucking knocked me out. I said, what? He said, one of the bouncers clumped him or something. I was like, what do you mean? I said, mate, are you going to sort this out? And he was like, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me, mate. Like that. I was like, say that again? What do you mean it's got nothing to do with you? I said, how much do you pay? And he went, 1,800 quid. I said, he pays 1,800 quid a week to serve up your gear. He's just been smashed in the eye and you're not going to do nothing about it. He was like, well, what do you want me to do? I was like, wow, you lot are fucking deep. I said, no one can put his hands on him. And I said, look at the size, because the geezer was like this, skinny as your fucking life, about 20 years of age and as green as a fucking apple, right? So I said to him, fuck. I said, nah, I ain't having that. I said, well, they know who you are, yeah? He said, yeah. I said, did I know he works for you? He said, yeah. I said, come, get in the car. So we drove down the thing, and then I'm talking to him. He told me a few bits and pieces. So then I've rung one of my mates that lives there. I said, how the fuck has these youngsters got to pay 1,800? Because what I got told on the way down there was that he weren't allowed to serve up in the club. He could only serve up on the street. But he had to pay the people in the club £1,800 to serve up on the street. So I said, what the fuck is that all about? That don't make sense. He was like, well, that's what I've got to do. I said, yeah. So as we got down there, I said to him, wait here a minute. So all the boys, so-called chaps, are sitting around the table. So I walked up, I said, all right, afternoon chaps, how you getting on? He said, oh, how we doing, mate? I said, yeah, I'm all right. So I sat down and I went, who have I got to pay 1,800 quid a week to serve up down here? I went, what are you talking about? I said, who the fuck have I got to pay 1,800 quid a week to serve up down here? They was like, what you on about? I said, don't say that again. Say that again, this table's going up, mate. Now I'm going to ask the question one more time. who do I have to pay 1,800 quid a fucking week to serve up down here? They went, no one, no one. I said, are you sure about that? They went, yeah. I said, are you fucking sure about that? They said, yeah. So I said, come here. He come over. I said, well, this geezer's with me, right? He's with me, yeah? So he ain't paying no one no more money to be down here. Is that all right? They was like, well, yeah, of course it is. I said, all right, sweet. And from today, yeah, look after him a little bit in the club. Let him go in the club a little bit, get a bit warm and that. Do you know what I'm saying, sir? Don't be digging him out and letting him stand outside in the cold. That's not fucking fair, is it? Do you know what I mean? What's the matter with you lot? Well, don't worry, Marvin, sweeten up, sweeten up, sweeten up. Next thing, my young fella become a little celebrity in the pool. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the bullies, the horrible, they knocked him out because he did, like, this is what they do, yeah? They got the people that are serving up, yeah, they give the youngsters to serve up. And then the people that are serving up say to their mates, yeah, go and see my youngster, he's over there. So he'll go and see the geezer, say, gives 4 tickets. He say, oh no, you got to pay for them. No, your pal sent me. Oh, all right, sweet. So he gives him the tickets. And at the end of the night, when he goes and does his tickets counter, he says, well, why'd you give that gear away? Like, what? They told me you sent it. He said, yeah, I know, I sent them to you. I never told you to give it to them. Should have charged them for it, mate. So then he'd bill them and that would go on his bill. So after this thing with the dramas, right? So why I told you that story because of the mindset of the people. So this little firm from a different part of the country, they thought they were bad men, right? So basically what happened was one of them emigrated to another country. He was going to get married or something. So he said to me one day, Marv, will you do me a favour, mate? He said, I'm fucking off over here. He said, I've got these lot doing X, Y, Z. He said, they're going to have a bit of money every month. He said, can you just make sure that they post the money? I'll tell you where everything is and just keep an eye on everything. So I was like, ooh, I don't really want to get involved in that, you know, Charles. And he was like, what? I said, I don't really want to get involved in that, mate. And he was like, what? I was like, well, He said, no, nothing's going to happen. I don't want you to do anything. I just want you to just make sure they send the readies to me because I've got to eat. So I was like, all right, sweet. So Ben, anyway, he's fucked off to wherever he's going. And they've gone on doing what they're doing. And then about, I don't know, 6 weeks later, they've turned up at my gaff, 3-4-handed, right? Fuck, the gaff's just been raided. Whole bill. So I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. So what I've done, I've rung my mate, who is actually an estate agent, but he owns a lot of the properties in the area. So I said, can you find out what old Bill had been to the lockup? Because old Bill was friendly over there. Like, and if they've come into a path that's connected to me, they'll give it back, and they really would. It's mad, right? So, or we'd have to go and pick up the bits, but they wouldn't have kept it. So I've rung my mate, I said, can you find out who's done that? Who it was, whether it was that, because if it was the national and there's a big coup going on, then you're fucked. But if it's the locals, then it's the locals. Like, there's local people in that part of Spain, so you're connected because all the family. So as long as you got a bit ready, you was all right. So I've rung my mate. I said, he said, no, we weren't no old Bill. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, we weren't old Bill. I was like, what do you mean? He said, it weren't old Bill. So I was like, all right, sweet. So I've gone back to them now. I said, it weren't old Bill. I was like, what do you mean? I said, it weren't old Bill. I said, it was. They come in, guarda. I said, it weren't old Bill. Who else knew about the gaff? So I said, no one but him. Anyway, so then they're sitting with me for a couple of days and I get talking to the kids. Because they're only about 19 to 24, these kids. So I started talking to them. I said, what do you actually owe your money for? So this was the story, right? They had an opportunity to get a gaff, right, on a Moody mortgage, get paid $5,000 to get the gaff, and then come back to England. So they had a little coup going on where they get people going over to Spain, getting gaffs in their name, coming back to England and pulling a coup with a mortgage and all that sort of stuff. Like, it was back in the early 2000s and everyone was doing it because there was a little coup with the properties over there. So they come over there, got a gaff, got $5,000 and come back to England. But what this fella done, he got them over there, nicked their passports, yeah, run, like, what he done to this fella, got him living with him, doing loads of things, and then billed him after 3 months, like, nicked his passport, made him stay there. Oh yeah, come here with me, do this, do that, do this. After about 2-3 months, said to the fella, you know you owe me money. He was like, for what? He said, well, you stayed in the house, yeah, you've ate food, yeah, and you've had the car. So this, that you owe me about, and this and that, you owe this amount of money. And I was like, oh, he said, well, I'll tell you what you do to work off the money, you can do this bit of graft. and then give him a bit of graft, and then that bit of graft went missing, then he got billed for that bit of graft, then he had to go to another country strapped up to work the debt off, you know, like proper human mules. Like, that's how they got into these people, right? So they're telling me all these stories. And I said, but how do you actually owe the money? He said, well, we owe the money because the gaff's got raided. I said, say that again. Say that again. He said, because the gaff's got raided. I was like, what do you mean? I said, well, the gaff's got raided. I said, so what are you paying for? What do you owe? It was like, well, we owe for the equipment and all the gear. I said, why? He said, well, that's how it is, isn't it? I was like, no. How's that down to you? It's nicked. How's it down to you? So how many times have you had gaffs nicked and you lot been billed? And you know what? It's sad. It's sad. It's sad, yeah. But you've got to laugh, yeah? Because I went, so how many gaffs have been nicked? And I said, all of them. All of them, yeah? I was like, are you fucking stupid? And they was like, what do you mean? I said, you're stupid as fucking assholes. I said, you lot are getting played. You lot are getting played. Like, everything this geezer's done to you is so you owe him money. So you're working off your debt, and every couple of months, how much you owe? 130 quid. How much you owe? 90 quid. How much you owe? 70 quid. How? You've been working for this fella, and the gaffs have gone over. How are you getting billed? It's madness. So I've said to him, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll get all your debt squashed. I'll get all your debt squashed. Right? I'll get all your debt squashed. Who wants to jump on board? So 3 of them said, nah, fuck that. You don't know what they're like. You don't know what they're like in our manor. His family, this. I said, mate, let me explain something to you. It ain't going to happen, mate. It ain't going to happen. They're taking a fucking piss, and it can't happen, mate. There's no one in the right mind could be wrong and strong like this. It's a fucking liberty, I'm telling you. So he was like, no. So my little mate said, well, I don't want to pay that money if I don't have to. So I was like, all right, sweet, good boy. So I rung the fella up. I said, listen, no disrespect, mate. I said, you see young mate, he said, he ain't paying you. What were you talking about? I said, he ain't paying you, mate. I said, all the others are going to pay you, but he ain't paying you because you're a fucking rat, you little mug. I said, how the fuck could you build these kids like this? How could you do this? How could you do that? How could you do this? Yeah, you talk to me. Yeah, you're going to speak to my dad. You're going to speak to my dad. I said, yeah, what? So his dad got on the phone. He was like, listen, son, I'm telling you, it's a bit out of your league, a bit out of your problem, a bit out of your bubba. I said, yeah, a bit out of my league, is it? A bit out of my problem, is it? I said, all right, I'll tell you what we'll do. Cunt, yeah? We'll see, yeah? We'll see. But I'm going to say nothing else, right? I'll call you back. So I put the phone down. So I rung my mate. Well, never rung my mate. I messaged my mate on a private, not an encro, the thing before the encro. So I messaged my mate, see this cunt, where's he live? He went, what? I said, where does he live? So my mate in Spain said, give me half hour. So half hour later, I got his address. So I've gone crash on the phone. I said, hello mate, do me a favour. I need you to get down to this plot now. This is life or death. He went, all right, sweet, boom. So an hour and a half later, 2 hours later, I got a phone call. I'm there, mate, sweet. So I said, all right, sweet, boom. I said, hello, mate. He said, yeah. I said, listen, see all this big man talk you keep talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm biting off more than I can chew, and I don't know who I'm playing with. He said, yeah. He said, yeah. I said, well, can you do me a favour? He said, what's that? I said, ring the doorbell. Ding dong. I said, answer your door, mate. He went, what are you being like this for, mate? What are you being like this for? I said, hold on a minute. You just told me I'm out of my league and you're going to teach me a lesson. So I want you to open the fucking door, yeah, and give the message, son. Yeah? Give the fucking message. It's as simple as that. Listen, don't need to be like this, mate. I said, why? Because he's outside your fucking door. Hey, because he's outside your door. What's your fucking problem, you fucking no good cunt? And you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about, you no good cunt. Because if you was a no good cunt then, you're still a no good cunt now. And you know who you are. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what you've done, you nasty, parasitical little rat. Do you know what I'm saying? And what they've done, they bully these kids, they talk to, and there's kids out there now, bullied to fucking to working illegally and doing illegal shit. And these fucking mugs put them in it all the time and then threaten them and then threaten their families. Do you know what I'm saying? So when he turned up at his gaff, his arsehole fell right out. Do you know what I'm saying? Fell right out. Him and his old man, the fucking pair of squeaks. Do you know what I'm saying? And they were like, I said, yeah, and what? And what, son? We don't need. I said, okay, so what are we saying? We'll forget all about him, mate. I said, well, make sure you do in every sense of the word, or they'll be coming back to that front fucking door, mate. Yeah? And next time you won't see it or hear it, you fucking mug. Do you know what I mean? About who do I think I am? I'm the man who's going to knock on your front door. That was the guy I was, right? Now, because things like that happen over there, yeah, it puts you kind of on a pedestal in front of certain people, you know, and there's other people that fell behind with money, you know, and I'm not here trying to big up myself. I'm just letting you know, like, I had to get shot for my shit, yeah? I had to get shot, and I'm lucky enough to have survived it, yeah? I'm blessed enough to be able to be articulate enough to sit here in front of you and tell you how it went down. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But I got shot, yeah, because I was feared, yeah? I was feared because I was ruthless, and I would do anything I needed to do to survive. Now, basically, the penultimate reason I got shot, right, was because I became a conduit, yeah? A conduit. And what a conduit is like a link to something, right? So people needed stuff in this country, and certain people couldn't get it at a certain price that I could. And it was as simple as that. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And what I've worked out is people was owed money. People got their debt squashed. People got put next to me. I got ironed out because people wanted to funnel through. And that's the simple fact. It got dressed up behind the fact that I got shot for a watch, but the reality is the reality. I don't give a fuck because they never succeeded in their goal because nothing really changed. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So it weren't like I was preventing anything from happening because nothing really changed anyway. They'll always have the same act they've always had because there will always be the same people they always have been. No change. Do you understand? So I don't look at people and think, oh, you can't, you can't, you can't. At the end of the day, I just pity people and I feel sorry for people being caught up in a world that I'd run so far away from when I could, if I could, and any time it comes my way. Do you understand? Because I've got nothing to prove to that world. I proved everything I needed to prove to myself that I could be that guy. And there ain't a guy in it, yeah, that could stand in front of me and tell the world that they punched my head in. There ain't a man that stands in front of me that can tell the world that he put the fear of life into me. There isn't. It isn't. And what I say is the truth. Not because I want to be a gangster, not because I want to be a bad man, not because I want to be hard. I don't want to be anything. I am Marvin Herbert. And I fucking can, could, would, and done everything to prove that I could have a fucking naughty rat and I was prepared to die and I was scared of no one. And I fucking proved it confidently. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not proud of proving it. I feel idiotic of facing so much fucking time and energy proving it to so many stupid cunts. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, face it, like, come on. Who the fuck am I? Who the fuck is anyone? How the fuck do we do all this shit? For what? For what? And these are the things that drives me mad as a big 50-year-old man now. I look back and I think, what a fucking mug. What a mug I was. So if I was a mug, yeah, what was everybody in front of me and behind me? Do you know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is I was an absolute mug of a man that thought I was sensible. And now I've woke up at 50 years of age and I've realised what an absolute cunt I was and how much I held myself back and how much of a liability I've been to my kids' future and my own. It's just fortunate that I'm as aggressive and as I'm determined and I'm as stubborn because I ain't gonna fail. Because I can't fail. I'm too fucking stubborn to fail. Do you understand? Like, I'm going hungry now because I'm too stubborn to go and get benefits. Do you know what I'm saying? What? Benefits? Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather starve. And that's my chimp because I will drive and push and graft to get paid. Yeah? I don't need handouts, mate. Yeah? Facts. So when we do things, we do it with a pure heart and a pure passion to achieve. Do you know what I mean? Change the narrative. And I feel like even when I do these lives, it's like there's so much that goes in, but the way you describe it, or the way I would describe it, will make it sound like I'm glamorizing this life. Do you know what I'm saying? But think about it, right? Here's one way of thinking about it, right? You're sensible. Sensible. Fucking proper sensible. You got a watch, yeah, 50, 60 grand. You got the chains, 60 grand. You got the car, 50 to 80 grand. You got the birds, the chicks. And now what you do on the weekend, yeah, to enjoy yourself, yeah, you decide to go and party in the darkest, shittiest basement in the country and call it a nightclub. You hide like a vampire, yeah, sweating, stinking, breath, pits and feet. Like, and you're out day in, week out, month in, month out. Like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, you've got all this money, yet you're in a piss hole. The toilets stink. And you lot are where? Doing what? Do you know what I mean? Going chicken shop, fast food shop, all that. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, people need to step up, bruv. And it's fucked. It's fucked. Now, what I'm learning now, yeah, right, you see that 5, 10, or even, like I've spent 15 to 25 grand I've spent on the weekend. And I've spent it, I'm not bigging it up like I'm fucking Keiko, because I'm skint. But what I'm saying to you, in that egotistical frame of mind, I spent that money thinking I was a fucking chap. I should have bought a gaff. I should have bought a business. I should have bought an asset that I can fucking store. But what did I do? I was sensible, so I fucking drunk champagne, sniffed cocaine, and fucked about with mugs. Do you know what I mean? And I've done it for decades, believing I was sensible. Come on, man. Like, I've got to be a cunt not to do this, ain't I? Come on, man. These kids have got to wake up. You're not being sensible out there, going like a bad man, like stabbing, shooting, and doing. Even the kids that are stabbing people, you're not even hard. You're stabbing people and then crying in the police station. Do you know what I mean? I know somebody that's stabbed someone and killed them by accident, and he's never been the same since. And he's a fucking good friend of mine who I love dearly, yeah? But I don't even speak to him no more. And he was one of my closest little youngsters who I bent over backwards to help out. And trust me, he's gone. He's gone. Like, he feels so much pain, paranoia and hurt, yeah? He's never going to recover. He don't even need to get beaten up to get hurt. He's fucking in it. So I'm saying, these are the things that these youngsters don't get out here, yeah? It's going to traumatise you. Yeah, and the ones that are going through it now, that are getting the nightmares, you got to tell these other youngsters. Tell them, yeah? Tell them about the nightmares. Tell them how when you wake up what it feels like. Because this is bullshit. These kids pretending like you don't get traumatised, like it don't affect you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually stopped dreaming after I got shot. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, I haven't totally given up puff. I've given it up for twice for 30 days at a time, but I keep having a little joint every now and then. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And I really don't know how emotional I'll become if I stop totally. So maybe I've got to go and have a breakdown before I can come back on this platform. So imagine that. I've got to say, well, I've got to have a month off to clear my system, and then I've got to post up I'm having a breakdown. Let me know if you want me to film it. Imagine that. Do a real live breakdown. And I'll do that as well if I could. Fuck that. Even my daughter said it today. You and your fucking YouTube. My YouTube, she thinks my YouTube's more important than my kids. Imagine that. And I don't realise, yeah, I'm fucking doing this because this is all I've got. I can't go, like, it's not, I can go and rob something. I can go and fucking steal something. I can go and stick it on someone and get whatever I want any day of the week. Everyone knows out there. I've never needed anybody to make money. I need my hands and my feet. I'm game enough, strong enough, and quick enough to go out and nick a few quid if I wanted it. Like, I could do it tomorrow morning, but I choose not to, and I choose to use the social media and the growth process of the strategies I'm implementing to my common goal, yeah? I have to go through this. So everyone knows that the YouTube don't pay big bucks, right? So everyone might look at me like I'm making loads of money on YouTube, but you get, and you can clock it, right? So for every 100,000 views, yeah, 100,000 views, I get £100. Right, that I have to pay a team that films. Who do you think does all this? Do you know what I mean? That ain't for free. People got paid for that. Do you know what I mean? And they don't even get paid proper dollar. Do you know what I mean? The people that come out filming with me get paid, but the person that does this stuff does it for the love of the message, yeah? And the growth of what we're doing and what we're bringing together for the future. So the help I'm getting to create what I create for you lot to receive this message is unilateral, and it's growing at a steady rate, right? So the great journey to the big 5-0 of all the nasty, deviant people that I've had to come across, and the ones that will throw you under a bus, They will throw you under a bus. They will throw you under a bus. So what we're going to do, how long's that? Any questions on there tonight, Guam?
Not any useful ones yet.
Right, come on, let me ask some unuseful ones. Let's see. I want to answer some irrelevant ones.
I'm on it. So I've been looking at.
It's all right, but we like interaction, don't we? They like the interaction. I'll even answer some silly questions tonight. Just answer them. Let's see. Let's see where the mindset is tonight.
When are you back up in Scotland?
Soon. I'm up there within the next month or so. I'm definitely out there for the next Edinburgh Festival anyway. Yeah, so we can post now at the end of every live. We're going to do a live question and answer every night as well, yeah, when we come on the live. So keep an eye on the YouTube, on the Instagram for when we go live, because it's not going to be every day. It might be every other day because I'm fucking mad busy with setting other shit up, and I do apologise, people, but it's hard work. But, no, we're cool. We're cool. I did apologise because now we've got this new technology, yeah? I forgot about that. So down to my...
How tall are you?
How tall am I? Well, will that camera see me if I stand up? Right, so on that leg, right, I'm 5'9", and on that leg, I'm 6'2". So depends on what leg I'm standing on. Yeah? Because I got shot, it messed up this height in my leg. But yeah, 6'2" on one foot, 6'3", and 5'9", 5'10" on the other foot.
Does Marvin have any contacts in the construction industry I might be able to help him earn?
Yep, we got contacts all over the world and everything. Like, we are plugged into everything. And the construction world, inbox me with what it is you want to do. And do a voice note. Don't do a word thing, because if they're too long, it's too much. So press the thing on the mic, on the message, and it will come up blue, and then just voice note it to me. You can do 1 minute at a time, but preferably no longer than a minute, because just bullet point everything. If I'm not interested, I'll message you back. Just bullet point everything, let me message you back. Don't drive my brain mad with loads of explanation, because I get bored. I've got a short memory span, ADHD, they call it.
You dealt with the Albanians, Serbs?
Yeah, but the mad thing about this criminal world, right, and I'll explain this to you quick, right? So, you see when you've got a bit of transport, yeah, everybody from everywhere is on that transport, because everybody gets their products from the same places and they put it on the same transport and they kind of share the transport. So everybody has to work with certain people. Do you know what I mean? So you got certain people that wrap and pack stuff, that my people might wrap and pack stuff with your people. So the same wrappers and packers will just mark your gear different to their gear. So everybody knows when it lands, whose gear is what. That's how it works, usually colour coded or picture coded.
Can you backstrap?
What does backstrap mean?
Like weed.
What does that mean?
Like the back way where it's not as much as left.
Nah. I just roll a normal joint. I don't know. I never knew how to do all that sort of funky stuff.
Describe the pain when you were shot.
Do you know what? There weren't no pain when I got shot, right? And I really never felt anything, right? But when they moved me onto the stretcher, and like that pain, I had it for fucking 2 years. Like the pain, was just next level, Now, I'll tell you the level of pain I went in, because I refused to take morphine, right? So the level of pain that I was in, now anyone that takes these THC drops, yeah? The THC drops, no. 3-4 drops get you mash up, right? 3-4 drops get you lean, right? I took 18 drops 4 times a day to manage the pain. Like next level, like it was next level, like the pain was just indescribable. It was just, and that was it. It was just pain, like that was it. You couldn't do nothing but scream every time I moved. And I got noticed everywhere I went because of the noise I made. And then over the months, it got less and less and less. Over the years, it got different. And within 2 years, Marv had a fight on the undercard of D. Williams' world title fight on Sergio Martinez's bill in the outside. And it's on YouTube, Marvin's boxing match. And I'll promote it, go and watch it. It's sick. 3-round exhibition fight it was.
They said that he shoot you directly in the eye.
Yeah. And I like doing this because people like doing it. Shot me right in the eye. Oh. Right in the eye. Yeah. One went through my eyelid. So one went there, through there, and then one went through the eyelid, and then because my eyelid's mashed up, I got a big split in my eyelid because he went through the eyelid. So that's why this eye doesn't blink properly. Do you know what I mean? So I was blessed that it never went through, never ricocheted into my brain, and it literally stopped halfway through my eye, which the doctors can't explain. But that just felt like I've been punched on the bone and it swelled up. That's all it felt like. It felt like people that have been punched on the bone and their eyes swelled shut straight away. Because that's happened to me in the past. That's all it felt like. It felt like my eye had been shut straight away, and that was it. There was no pain until they moved me onto the stretcher. And then after 3 weeks, the pain started kicking in because I stopped taking morphine, right? After 3 weeks, I had been a shit. And the woman said it was normal, and I realised then, fuck, I'm going to be a heroin addict. I'm going to take this for years. So I stopped then, and took the drops for pain relief. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Someone said, have you ever been to Rio's in Kentish Town? I'm sure I saw you there in the early 2000s chatting up birds.
See, now you might have seen me in there, right? Wired, but Marv never chatted birds up in them places, and anyone can tell you. I did have a couple of birds locked in certain places, and when I was with them birds, you never saw me. So if you did see me in them places, it was because I was doing naughty things out of my nut. Yeah. So yeah, I only went in there once or twice. Anyway, it's a bit seedy for me. It's dirty in there as well, and it's not a place you want to frequent. So on a couple of mad benders, I've ended up in there.
Someone said, was it being shot that stopped crime?
Nah, it wasn't shot. I was still active. I loved it. I actually thrived in it. After I got shot, it was empowering, believe it or not. And it sort of put me up. Once I got better and I could walk, mate, there was no stopping me. I was fucking invincible. Do you know what I'm saying? I was invincible, right? I was invincible. Even to the point that I even come back, had a bit of a drama. Like, people know what happened. A couple of people steamed into me when I was on crutches. And one of them was punching me as hard as he could, for as long as he could, to the point where I was like, wow, the fuck? Do you know what I mean? What a liberty. And I just got in the car and went home, kind of thinking, what an absolute cunt. Do you know what I'm saying? Why would you do that? Do you know what I'm saying? So, situations have unfolded, people have matured, people have grown. But Marv's just been Marv. You know? Marv's just been Marv.
Someone said, why was you dropped out by the cartel or any crime in Spain? That's the real question.
I haven't been dropped out, you fucking... How have I been dropped out? Like, I still speak to people regular. Well, funny enough, yeah. Yeah, I still speak to people. Still get my messages, still send messages back and forth, still speak to everybody involved in everything that I've always been involved in. I choose not to speak to the criminal cartels that are active because we've got nothing to talk about right now. So I mean, apart from the kids, like, if I go over to Spain and I see a few people that are grafting that I know, I'm still going to speak to them. They're still going to speak to me. Do you know what I mean? It's not my fault they can't get out. Do you know what I mean? Everybody wants that. And that's what I believe. Everybody wants that. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's just waiting for that next tickle, that next bit of work, or that next bit of graft, or that next bit of grease. So to me, it weren't worth it for me.
The guy who shot you seems to keep his head down. What's he up to?
I really don't know. And do you know what? I'll put it out there. I really want him to come and work with me. Do you know what I mean? Like we had a giggle, me and Mark. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was a bit quirky, but then maybe because he knew what he was going to be doing. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? But I never felt that click with him. I just trusted him because he was punctual on time. But I'll give you an example, right? Every time anyone from England come to see him, he would always go off and spend time with them. He'd never bring anyone from England around us and our lot. And I thought it was a bit strange. So one day I said to him, look, no disrespect, mate, yeah? I said, but every time we go out, you're here drinking, partying, doing whatever. And every time you're partying, you're fucking off with your mates. I said, like, I'm not here to carry you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so do yourself a favour and don't be bothered coming out unless you're going to throw into the pot, mate. Do you know what I mean? And your bed's going to cost $3.5 grand, the same as everyone else's. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't want you jumping on my bed, get your own bed. Do you know what I'm saying? So then the next bed come around, he's only borrowed the money off my mate. Do you know what I mean? So come the end of the day, my pal's got to do me a favour, Marv. Can you see your mate for that bit of Reddies? And I was like, what? What mate? He went, your mate, Marv. I was like, what are you on about? He said, well, he's borrowed a bit of Reddies off me. I was like, are you joking? So I said, see you fucking cheeky little cunt. I said, you're a freeloading little cunt, mate. So I mean, do yourself a favour and fuck off. So I mean, so I kind of dropped him out because he was a selfish person and he was sort of using me like everyone else, and I didn't like that. So I fucked him off. Do you know what I mean? And then I can't remember what happened. It was after I fucked him off. It was after I fucked him off. Yeah, I'll go into that on the next live. Because we're getting this bit long now. We'll go on the next one with that. So I'll go into the shooting on the next one.
Who's the most interesting and realist person you've had on the podcast?
They've all been pretty honest and real. None of them have tried to they're all real, innit? They're all real. Everyone's a different character. If you understand what I mean. It's like you're only going to get one of everyone, and everyone pretends to be someone they're not. Like I actually believe the man I was. A lot of people try and mimic me on the road. I'm not saying it to be big-headed, but there ain't many people like me on the road, and the ones that do act like it are not really that. So I mean, like, first and foremost, yeah, if you're throwing it about like you're something, you got to be able to take a punch on the chin. You got to be able to have a fight with a few people. You got to be that gladiator. Don't fucking gas just because you can shoot someone. That don't make you no man. Do you know what I mean? That make you a man just because you can stab someone. I mean, that don't make you a man. What makes you a man is a gladiator. Yeah, a gladiator makes you a man, and that's a man who stands at war and goes home and looks after his kids. Yeah, show me his kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, show me man, show me his kids. I'll show you my kids. Yeah, I'm not about to show you my kids. They're a little bit fucked up. I'll tell you something, right? They're not junkies. They're not alcoholics. They're not whores. They're not prostitutes. They're not drug dealers. They're not criminals. Do you know what I mean? They're just fucked because they have me as the dad, and it's not fuck like they're dribbling, garbling. They're just confused with how to treat people, yeah, and how to communicate. Do you know what I mean? And that's the only confusion I see with my kids, and that's not a bad confusion to have because we're working through that. Do you know what I mean? And what imagine that, yeah? That's the worst I've come out to. My oldest kid don't talk to me because I abandoned him, and my eldest daughter is very conflictuous, yeah, all conflictuous. You know what girls like, yeah? So I get the little stabs up the wounds, stabs up the ribs. I had a few today. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But it's just reliving trauma for creating trauma's sake to deal with coping mechanisms. Do you know what I mean? So she gets as angry as me, so she gets as hurtful as me. So when she gets angry, she's going to say everything she can to sort of chop me down and make me feel sad or angry, because that's the intention. But it's all good, it's all love, and it's all learning. So we're all growing and we're all becoming better human beings, and that's the only thing I'm ever trying to do.
This is a good question. Do you ever worry about the repercussions on you or your family, your past with gangsters?
No, because repercussions only come because of things you've done. Now, all fairness, I actually speak, and I have spoken, I'd say, to 99.9% of the people that I've had ag with. And the people that you would think would want to kill me, don't. So there's only one person out there that I believe would actually want to kill me. And they did try for years. I've tried with them for years. They know I tried. I know they tried. We never succeeded. And now we talk. Do you know what I mean? And it's just one of them things. When you're the best of the best or you're the toughest of the toughest, then you're going to meet the toughest of the toughest or the best of the best. It's at that point when you ask yourself, for what? Do you know what I mean? And reality is reality, mate. Sorry about that, my people. I do apologise, but technical difficulties. And what we're going to show, I'm going to show you our secret mission to get to our filming destination. And you'll be amazed. It's like Mission Impossible, ding, 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 ding. But yeah, proper mission to get online nowadays. And I am actually trying my hardest to keep you lot engaged and entertained. But I have to keep it into a realm where it's beneficial information rather than just clout chasing for a pound a back. Because I actually feel embarrassed about the man I was. So that's why I want to do so much now to make up for all the bad and stupid, senseless shit that I did do and that I encouraged others to do. Now, thankfully, yeah, there ain't people sitting in prison for things I've asked them to do, right? I can say that, yeah? There ain't no one in prison, right, doing life for things that I've asked them to do, right? No one, right? No one. Now, there ain't no one in prison, yeah, for anything I've asked them to do. Now, there's people in prison I know doing life and double life and whatever life, right? For other people. I know they're out there. I know they're out there, and I feel sorry for them because inside now they're thinking about the people they're in there for, right? Facts. They're thinking about the people they're in there for. And I'm telling you, 99.9% of them fucking hate the person they're sitting in there for, yeah? Hate them, yeah? And by the time they come out, the conversations would be fuck. Like, how? How could you treat me that way? I thought I was your friend. I sat in there for years for you. For what? And that's what you're going to hear from all them lifers that come home, right? For what? Now, the good thing, and it ain't a good thing, but the real thing about lifers is 98% of them are straight goers. So, I mean, but the 2% that's sitting there for the criminal fraternity, my heart goes out to you. and it really does. And I know some of you are watching now, and it fucking hurts to know you're sitting in there for someone else. And I was fortunate enough to slip that net. Do you know what I mean? But the reality of it is, you was used, my brother. Do you know what I'm saying? Even the girls, there's girls watching this from the shovel now. Do you know what I'm saying? Who've been used and they're sitting in there now, getting told, wait till you come home, wait till you come home, to keep their mouth shut. For what? When they're all out flying to Dubai, doing whatever they're doing all around the planet, while you're sitting in the shovel, and I know you're watching, and they're not giving a fuck about you right now. So choose wisely what you do when you go home. Trust me, because they've got no love for you. They don't care about you sitting in the shovel. They don't care about your family. They don't care if your family gets battered, bruised, raped, burgled or robbed. They don't care. They don't care. They'll do nothing to protect them either. I mean, they'll tell you they'll die for them. Do you know what I mean? Just to make you do what they need you to do for them. And that's the messed up thing in this world. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I wasted my life for weak, jellyfish people. Do you know what I mean? Like, wow. Wow. Do you know what I mean? And that's all I think about all the time. Any more questions?
Have you seen how Stephen Me has turned his life around and how well he is doing?
Who's Stephen Me? I don't really pay attention. That's another thing as well. I don't watch social media. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm too busy getting my message out there. I don't care what people have got to say about me, because people ain't walked in my shoes and they ain't going where I'm going and haven't done what I've done. So I'm saying to you, so everyone's entitled to their opinion. Yeah.
Your boxing heroes.
My boxing heroes: Marvin Hagler, Mike Tyson, and what's his name? Honey, what's his name? Not he was a cruiserweight that went up to heavyweight, and he had a fight with everyone. What's his name? It always goes out of my head. Sorry, my brain's frazzled. He'll come to me. So Marvin Hagler, Mike Tyson, there was one more. He'll come to me. It was. Apologies, but when you see what I'm doing, you understand. It's red, you know. Is that cool, yeah? Oh, there we go. So we're going to close it up now. So we've been on, and that's we're getting enough messages to say that's a wrap tonight. So if there's any more questions, we'll give you another couple of minutes. and we're going to close off. We're going to be back.
Who do you want to see? Who do you want to see fight Tyson Fury? Who do you want to see? Tyson Fury versus White or Tyson Fury versus Dylan White?
What?
Does that even make sense?
No, White is Dillian White, innit? Do you know what? The heavyweight division is just very challenging at the moment, but I think Tyson is just a different level above everyone. I think the only time it's going to become really sort of competitive is when Tyson gets all the belts and retires. But until he can take his position, which is rightfully his, and do what he wants to do, you know what I mean? Like, he's got to be in it. So until everybody gives him the opportunity to actually represent one of the greatest boxers of all time, we're always going to have this issue. So my rationale to that is this, right? That Tyson is prepared and will fight anybody in front of him, right? The problem is everybody in front of him are grafting not to lose to him. That's my opinion. So everything that's going on is so they can prevent their cash cow from ending. So while everybody's in this position, they're happy with the revenues they're earning to sustain their lifestyle. Once they fight Tyson, they've got to fight too much or fight too hard to get back, and they don't want to go through that again. That's what I believe. So everybody's just fucking about trying to prevent someone living their legacy and determining their destiny. So once Tyson gets all the belts and decides to retire, because I believe that's what he will do. I believe he will win all the belts. Do you know what I mean? Defend them a couple of times and then just retire, because he's achieved the goal, and that's all he's ever wanted to do. And he's been prevented from doing that because he is, in my opinion, the greatest boxer of our time. Now, if you know boxing, you'll understand what I'm saying. Now, I don't know anyone that's done what he's done. And I had my doubts with Tyson growing up as well. I never fully backed him. Do you know what I mean? And I never, and he knows, like, I always wanted to see him in a real scrap. And what I didn't realise about boxing, yeah, is he never give anybody the opportunity. Yeah, because he was that good at boxing. Do you know what I mean? To fight, like, I never knew that until later on in life. So I've learned a lot about boxing where I was a fighter. So I thought boxing was all about two people punching each other until someone got knocked over. I didn't understand the sweet science of boxing. And I understand in that because the sweet science is what I inflict on people that think they're world champions. So when they get in the ring with me thinking they're world champions, after they get out of the ring, they realise that they're not, and they've got a lot of work to do. Yeah, and because I know that, I can have that sort of view on Tyson, that the reason why he hasn't got his position is because he's been prevented, because the cash cows are not cash cows if he's the undisputed heavyweight champion with all the belts. Then everybody has to fight him. They're not worth their money no more. It's all the new people coming up and they're preventing that from happening. That's just my opinion. So Tyson and everybody else needs to fight Tyson. And until everybody fights Tyson, we're never going to have a definitive world champion. And that's just my opinion. Do you know what I mean? So let the games begin. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Dylan White or Usyk?
Pardon?
Dylan White or Usyk?
What do you mean? Who wins, Dillian White or Usyk? Do you know what? Personally, I think that is the 50-50 fight. I think that is 50-50 because I believe, yeah, if Joshua would have done what I believe Dillian White is going to do, then Joshua would win.
Well,
So
they're saying White, they reckon White would beat AJ now.
I don't know. See, people can have their opinions, right? But from my opinion, right? Now, because AJ has already done Dillian, right? He's going to have more of a confidence. So Dillian has to do things different to what he done last time, right? So the game plan is always about the boxer and whether or not they can hold the game plan. So, I mean, and if Dillian loses his game plan, he can become vulnerable. I don't know how well he's developed to react, or no, how well he's developed to respond under pressure, but his flaw was his response or his reaction under pressure, which got him the loss. Right, so whether he's got that under control and whether the crowd don't, it just depends on the night, because it's all about the chimp and the ego. So it depends on the game plan and whether they stick to it. And because of what, it's hard to say who will win with AJ and Dillian now. Like, it's hard to say. Whereas before, it was pretty easy to say that he's going to walk onto one of AJ's shots and get knocked out, right? That wasn't hard to envision. And now, because they've both learned a lot more over the last few years, it'd be hard to say, right? And that's the difference between them and Tyson. With Tyson, they have to learn, in my opinion, they'd have to learn too much to beat Tyson in the time. It's not possible to learn that much in the time they have before Tyson decides to retire. That's my opinion. So I think everybody should just let Tyson clean up like he should have done years ago. Let him hold the fucking position for a couple of years and let him retire. Because I believe that's what would happen. Because it's boring with Tyson, if that makes sense. Because everyone knows how good he is. Everyone knows he's the best. And everyone's dancing around the facts. And that's just my opinion. So I think once they let facts percolate and be, right, Tyson will have his moment. Tyson will live his life. Tyson will retire because he's got nothing. He's got nothing to prove to anybody on this planet but to himself. And because I know him, yeah, and I know the family, I know the mindset, yeah. I don't know him like that, but you understand them. And Tyson has to have all the belts. And that's his dream. And he's never going to give up on that. So once he's got them, like before, right? Once he achieved his goal, he lost the love for boxing. Now I think he wants to prove a point, get his belts back, and just say, I'm done. That's just my humble opinion as Marvin Herbert. And I think the sooner people let him do that, the sooner the boxing world goes back to normal and everybody becomes competitive. Because everybody's preventing other talent coming through because their cash cows haven't cashed in enough yet. So just let it all happen. That's my opinion, that's my belief, and that's my word. There you go. No. I know Keith Walker, boom, the old boxing trainer, yeah. I'll be out to see you soon, Keith, and all. Yeah, he had a boxer. He had a boxer I sparred, cruiserweight.
So I think you get Fury on the podcast.
Yeah, when he's not too busy, I'm sure he'll come and grace my presence. But what people don't realise with this status that these people reach, yeah, they're not totally in control of their calendars. And then basically when they do have free time, they want to have it with the people they love because they're on the road so much. So although we're friends with people, it's only when our calendars can coincide with each other. And because everybody's mad busy, it's not as easy as you guys think it is. So it's not that we're not friends, it's not that we don't talk, it's not that we don't show each other love, give each other kiddles, cusses and hi to the family, kisses and cuddles. Like, we're all family, we're all friends, it's all love, but everyone's got business and everybody's got responsibility. So he'll be on when it's time for him to come on. And no doubt it'll be explosive because he knows me, yeah? He knows everything about me. Do you know what I mean? He knows me. He's heard all the stories about me, not only from people outside the family, but his family members. So I'm saying, so we've got a really good, harmonious, platonic family friend relationship. You know what I mean? And it's nice. You know what's really nice, yeah, which is really, it's like empowering. Like if he sees me, yeah, he calls me like Marv, and we have a conversation, and that's really, like that shows, like sometimes, you know, when you see people, they kind of act like they're too important to say hi now, or too important to give you moments now, but when they come and sit down with you and talk and you communicate, it's nice, and it's just human stuff. But there's a few people that I've come into contact with over the years, and they know who they are, that have actually just, and I don't know why, but they do, they go on like they're too important to speak to people, but you know, in time everyone will cross paths and strategically align where eventually people have to talk and show their colours and show their art and just be real. Do you know what I mean? Like, I ain't got nothing to prove, I ain't got nothing to achieve anymore but my humanistic success in being the best human being I can be. So we're going to close it up, unless there's any important questions coming up now. We're going to close it up for the evening because I've got to spend some quality time with my daughter, who tells me my YouTube's too important. Yeah.
Never actually said that.
You bloody did, see? But you never said it. I've just exposed you. Yeah, so yeah. Hello. Actually threw me out, yeah. Come and pick the suitcase up, she said. Yeah, come and pick your suitcase up. I've only been there 2 hours.
Left on the street.
Yeah. No, what I said was, you said, I'll get out. I said, well, if you want to get out, you can get out. You said, yeah, we'll come and get your suitcase. Yeah, all right, sweet. And I thought, I'll drive you home, I'll get it there. And I thought, we'll get over there. And I thought, well, do you know what? This is for you. Everything I'm doing is for you. Imagine that. So my chimp would have drove all the way home and dropped you off just to be horrible, when I'm actually doing this for you, beautiful.
I know.
There you go.
I didn't mean what I said anyways.
I know. And that's the chimp paradox for you. And trust me, it will help everybody that has conflict in their family if you listen to it and accept who you are and what your chimp is, you know. And as long as you can accept the arguments, the outbursts, and deal with it, you're golden. Like, yeah. So another great episode. Enough viewing content. And you know what it is? I love the fact that you all come on religiously, you know, and yeah. So after, like, the next podcast, I'm going to go in to what the argument, the phone conversation about the shooting, and then the hospital. Because believe it or not, yeah, I had some fun in the hospital. Like, I was happy in that hospital. Like, I was empowered. So when I talk about the hospital, yeah, I'm not going to be gassing, but I'm going to be honest, and it is true, right? It is true, and there will be people validating, saying it's true, because it happened, mate, and it was exactly what I said. And just think of it like this, right? And I'll leave you on this note so you can understand the mindset in the hospital. So in Spain, where they shoot people dead regular, yeah, the police, they shoot people dead regular. Yeah, it ain't a joke. It ain't a joke, right? Now, I've been shot 5 times, point blank range in the face. They've got the bullets that the police have, the doctors have taken out of me, yeah? They know exactly what's going on. Now, when I woke up, the first day, I was happy, and then in the afternoon, no one could come into my room, yeah? No one. And I was paranoid. I was like, right, how come I'm getting no visits? So then when I've called the doctor, they said, no, it's the police. So the police have to vet everybody coming to the hospital now. So outside my room, yeah, no one was allowed on my corridor, right? And it was just full of armed old Bill. And then my family come in, and then they was there. And then basically the family went, and then all the police, yeah, I'm not even joking yet, all the police come into my hotel, like the hospital room, yeah, and like got on their knees, yeah. I shit you not. I'm not even fucking joking. Yeah, right. So what they've done, they've come in, yeah, surrounded my bed, yeah, and they all put one hand on me and got on their fucking knees and done some mad prayer. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then what the causer said to me after, he said, este hermano el Jesús, yeah. And what he said is, es incredible, es incredible, hermano el Jesús. Incredible. So what he said is, you got saved by the hand of God. That's what he said to me, along them lines, yeah? The hand of God saved you. And then what he done, he showed me all the bullets, and he showed me the bullet that went into my eye, and it was flat like a pancake. You know, when you look at my x-rays, and you look at the because they're on my Instagram page, yeah? And you look at the x-ray, and the Facebook page they're on, you got the x-ray with the 16 pins in it. Halfway down, there's a full bullet, and you can see it's the same shape as a bullet, but yet the one that went in my eye, when you look at it in the thing, it's white, and it's flat as a pancake. So they knew it was a miracle I was alive. And then they made a vigil in my hospital bed and all put their hands on me and started praying. And then when I asked if they'd leave, yeah, they got offended. And they was like, why don't you want us here? We want to protect you. We want to stay here. And I was like, no, but it's not like that, man. Like, I said, boss, man, like, I'm a criminal. This doesn't look good. Like, it makes it look like I'm a snitch and I can't have you here. Like, I said, but what if they want to come back for you? I said, if they want to come back for me, they've got to come back for me, man. I've got to take what comes, innit? Come on. I said, but you don't need to go. I don't want you here. And he's like, but we want to stay. I said, trust me, yeah. I've not had an argument, but it was like, but I don't want you here. And he was saying, but we want to stay. We want to stay. Like, you're a miracle. We want to stay. I was like, no, you can't. And they had the ump that they got sent away from the hospital bed, yeah? And that's just the absolutely miracle aspect of what happened. And it ain't a joke, like, and when I see the x-rays, I actually realised, and that's what made me start changing my ways. And then the penultimate place was when I thought I was going to do my son's best mate, and I thought I can't do it no more. And they were the two penultimate turning points in my life. Yeah. And that's where we ended. So we're going to leave it on that note. Yeah. Just knowing that everybody in the hospital, yeah, thought I was a miracle. Everybody in the hospital couldn't believe how happy I was every day, that I've been shot 5 times. They couldn't believe that I never moaned. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it, right? And then 3 weeks later, they couldn't believe it anymore because I stopped taking morphine. And they couldn't believe that I'd stopped taking morphine. I was going through the pain. I went through the pain for 3 days, and then I got the THC drops. And it was after the THC drops, it was like the party began. It was mad, yeah? And that's where we're going to leave it. That's where we're going to leave it. Because when I come back with the shooting, it's going to lead up to where the party began. And it did. I had it was like a little party in the hospital for a stage. It was crazy. But yeah, stay tuned, stay focused, stay positive. Lots of love from Marvin Herbert. Nothing but the truth. And we'll see you tomorrow.